Few weeks ago, one of us was solving a DSA problem, and we asked an AI for help. And in just few seconds, it gave us the perfect solution. But when we were asked why this solution works, what was the reason behind it, and or why did you choose this solution or this approach, we couldn't explain it. That moment made us realize something important: that AI is making answers faster but understanding slower. And if we don't fix that, we are training a generation that can write the code but cannot reason with it. Therefore, we decided to build an AI that doesn't replace the thinking but strengthens it. We are Team Function Override, and this is Socrative Dev. Today's learning tools optimizes for the speed, but not for the cognition. Students jump from solution to solution without building mental models. That lack of prioritization creates noisy outputs, risky suggestions, and the low trust, especially when the code touches the authentication or payment or users that are part of the codes. So we don't just have a learning problem here. We also have a productivity and reliability problem. Therefore, we have built in Socrative Dev, a fully Dockerized application ready to be deployed to adapt to why the user is asking a question, not just what the question is. We have built an intent-aware AI, not just a smart AI, which sets us apart from our competitors. That's why the platform works in two modes. Number one is our build mode, when developers are working with real-world projects. The users can upload an entire project folder. Here, we are uploading a Canon Flow project or even provide a GitHub repository link. Instead of just storing files or sending blindly to the AI, we first run a deep analysis pipeline on the code base. We pass every file across multiple languages, extract functions, classes, or import functions, and build a relationship map of how different parts of the system interact. Who calls whom, what depends on what, and how the data flow in through the entire application. At the same time, we generate semantic embeddings for each code entity, so the system understands not just the syntax, but what the code is meant to do. Once this processing is done, the projects become an intelligent, queryable knowledge base. But we don't just stop here at answering the questions. We also generate repository level analytics, showing which files contains the most errors, which modules are relatively stable, or where the technical risk is concentrated in the entire code base. Developers can also visualize and explore dependency graphs to understand the architecture, trace how a change will ripple across the system or the entire code base, or even perform impact analysis before modifying the critical code paths. This improves accuracy exponentially, reduces the token cost, and limits the exposure of sensitive internal logic, making the system far more suitable for the real-world company environments. So in the build mode, software dev is not just helping writing the code. It helps developers understand, debug, and evolve complex systems faster. Second is our learning mode. In the learning mode, AI uses the Socrative method. Before giving the code, it probes the understanding and data properties, invariants, and the reasoning steps. So instead of just memorizing the algorithms, users build transferable problem-solving skills. We realize learning doesn't happen through answers alone. It happens through repeated exposure and the feedback and the visualization. That's why Socrative Dev is full learning environment with multi-format coding challenges that train debugging, testing, and design thinking, such as, to name some, a pass and problem challenge. Here, the users have to reorder the shuffled code box to form a correct and a logically structured solution. And another one of our challenge is the code surgery, where they identify and fix the bugs partially broken or inefficient code. Another one is our EGS5 challenge and many more. Next one of our core features of our full learning environment is the code visualizer. The code visualizer is an interactive tool designed to help understand users how code is structured and how it executes. It transforms written code into visual representation, making complex logic easier to follow and learn. For example, let's take a binary search program. When we upload a binary search program, the visualizer first analyzes the code to understand its flow. In call graph mode, it shows how the binary search function is connected and invoked within the program. And in the execution trace mode, it runs the code step by step, highlighting each line as it executes. During the execution, variables like low, high, and mid update visually, clearly showing how the search space is reduced until the target is found. Another one of our feature is space repetition flashcard to strengthen long-term retentions, analytics that show conceptual gaps, and finally the gamification to drive consistency for the users. This transformed all in all the platform from a helper tool into a continuous learning product, which is where long-term value and monetization exists. As for the business point of view, from the commercial point of view, this architecture supports multiple business paths, subscriptions for learners, partnerships for boot camps, and enterprise onboarding tools where the faster ramp-up directly saves the money. So the same code technology scales across education as well as the educational development environment or the professional development environment. Finally, I want to say to you that the Socrative Dev is built on one belief, that the best AI is not that replaces the engineer, but the one that helps create the better ones. We are Team Function Override, and we are building AI that upgrades how developers learn, think, and build. Thank you.